Alright, hello there everyone. Welcome back to another Kagurabachi chapter review video. Yay! This one is 125, and the last one we just had Subaru and freaking Kunishige. I don't know why I forgot his name. Subaru and Kunishige go to a forge to uh make the Danseki into the Enchanted Blades without the permission of the government, obviously. But there is some bad news. Actually, do I want to? Nah, I'll just say it now. So after this chapter, where the creator of Kagurabachi is going on a hiatus for like a month. So sadly, there's not going to be any new Kagurabachi stuff besides like anime trailers because they be posting them anime character trailers like crazy. But there's not going to be any like new anime stuff or new manga stuff for like a month ish, if I'm correct. So if I'm correct on the month hiatus, should get new Kagurabashi by late July, early August. Which I don't know if I could wait that long, bro. I don't know if I could wait that long. But anyway, here we are. We just gonna get into it. Let's go. No fucking Mario. All right. So it starts off with this old motherfucker. Sorry, that was me. No, I don't even know who this is. Starts off with this old guy looking over some files about the Mikaboshi, and it's talk about how he don't see alone how, or he don't see how the alone, or how they have them have them. Oh my! He doesn't see how them having tremendous life force is equal to them being able to use the power of the Danseki. Boom! Oh my god, that was hard. And then comes over uh this book, and where the Mikaboshi speak of prayer. So there, and then it cuts to the next panel. We see four like four human women with holes in their chests, like holes in their stomachs. Uh, and then this one Mikaboshi kneeling in front of the Danseki with blood on his hands, praying to it. So yeah, they're using human sacrifices to pray to the Danseki to give them power. Which I'm assuming that's also why they took Chiaki as well, besides the fact of them having, or the king being a fucking freak. But anyway, yeah. The Danseki, of course, was originally not supposed to be touched by humans whatsoever. A forbidden fruit of sorts. But now now these Mikaboshi have it, and now they are destroying everything. So yeah, they're calling it their god. Yeah, so they're just praying to the Danseki with human sacrifices. And then we get the title card, chapter 125, smelting, and then we see Kunishige getting the furnace ready. And basically, he's doing this process called Tatara smelting, which produces extremely high quality steel with very few impurities. But you got to do a lot to get it to work. You feel me? So like he's prepping the furnace right now to do that. But as he's doing this, or he's been doing it for 7 hours currently. But as he's doing this, a guy walks into the forge. Now he's been in a chapter before, but I didn't mention him because I didn't think he'd be that important. But his name is Joji. He's got like a bandana on his face and a nose ring. I don't know. I don't know. He's the guy that's supposed to be like one of the leaders of like the. See, I forgot about this guy completely because he's that irrelevant. But like, I think he's supposed to be just like in a leadership role at the in the government. I don't know, but he pulls up on Shiba, Subaru, and Kunishige, who are all there, telling him to stop at once. I even Mr. Hasumi's willing to look over this. Or overlook this. I won't stand it. And then he's talking about some. I suspected you were involved, Master Urita. Like, shut, shut up, shut up. You lame, bro. You lame. Then he talks about I'm in a leadership role at the lab, so I had a bit of a head start. But uh, you'll have more visitors from HQ any minute now, and they won't be as patient as me. So stop while you can. Where's the Danseki? And then Shiba, being a go he is, lets his nuts hang. Talk about some. Hey, we pulverized it. We destroyed it. And then we see two Subarus on the screen. They're talking to he's talking to him. Tatara is the first step of forging. Traditionally, we use coal and iron sand. However, to use iron ore, we had to start by crushing it into fine particles like sand. You know what I'm saying? Just explaining that. And then this dude's obviously confused. Like, why are there so many Subarus around here? And then there's a legend, and then you could probably guess why by now, but there's a legend at his sushi shop talking about the master chef makes sushi, takes orders, washes dishes, and does delivery all at the same time. And he explains that his sorcery is multiplication, so he can multiply himself. He can multiply himself. Looks like an infinite amount of times, which is crazy. I don't know if he could. I'm still convinced this guy is an enchanted blade wielder. There's no way he's not. But we know his sorcery is multiplication, so does that mean that he can multiply his enchanted blade? I don't think that's the case, but I think he just multiply himself. But I don't know. But anyway, he gets that explanation. And then this dude's stressing over here, Mr. Joji and whatever. He's stressing, talking about some. I understand why you're doing this. It's a crazy stunt to say Princess Chiaki, but you know very well that Princess Chiaki's prosophy also touched on the Enchanted Blade plan. She warned that smelting the Dantenseki was dangerous. She saw a colossal accident, and it shows an explosion and that just destroys the entire city. That was the probably was like the vision that Chiaki had. What if the explosion reaches the city? At this rate, you're heading down the path the prophecy warned against. This is exactly what Princess Chiaki didn't want. And then Kumashige, just being the goat he is, interrupts him. It won't reach the city. The point of the prophecy is that the people involved can make choices to preempt them. Right? We'll just adapt our approach. We aren't smelting the Danseki by itself. We're mixing it with approximately 10 times as much pebbling in magnitude magnetite in the furnace. Pebbled magnetite is an iron ore that has a good yield and is way easier to smelt than iron sand. We're infusing the Danseki into a large quantity of pebbled magnetite, with the Danseki reduced to fine grains that aren't densely clustered together. The effect of each individual particle is weakened. Mind you, this guy is not a This is not a professional swordsmith, by the way. This is just a regular guy that does this shit for fun, bro. And he's already already dropped a bomb on how not to freaking make the Danseki blow up. Crazy work. Crazy work. Or not make it destroy the city, I mean, because it still could blow up and it still could die, but it just won't reach the city. And then we get Subaru talking about Kunishige again. Apparently his eyes are covered with a special membrane. Because swordsmiths are constantly staring into hot flames with their naked eyes. Many lose their eyesight. His eyes regenerate. They get buried by the heat and then they heal as the process repeats. His eyesight gets stronger, much like how muscles grow stronger through the process of damaging and healing the muscle fibers. So he's basically working out his eyes, in a sense. Kunishige is. Like, because when you work out at the gym, you know what I'm saying, your muscles rip. They actually rip. And they grow back and they heal back stronger. That's why you feel sore in your muscles whenever after you work out and stuff like that. But yeah, so he's basically just doing a gym workout on his eyes whenever he's, you know what I'm saying, smelting and stuff like that. Which is crazy. He's just born with that, and he is able to pass that on to Chihiro. I'm assuming. And then Joji's talking about, oh, this is still dangerous. Like, if you don't want to be here, you could leave, gang. Like, that's the whole thing. You don't want to be here, you could leave. And then Kunishige talking about when you heat the Danseki, its particles get more and more active as the temperature rises. At around 1,000 degrees, it reaches its limit to explode. But if we vary the rate at which we raise the temperature, it could throw off the particles' rhythm. By raising the temperature slowly while suppressing the activity of the particles, it should be possible to reach the iron ores fusion temperature without triggering an explosion. Just just dunking on this guy with every single take he has, bro. I don't understand why this guy just doesn't leave. Like it's clear he don't want to be here, so like just leave, bro. Just leave. You don't want to be here. And then he's yelling, and then Joji's now yelling at Subaru. Talk about you really gonna listen to his half baked reasoning? He says no, and then Subaru says no. I'm convinced by his talent. I'm not. It's not merely his God-given gifts. He can actually see the particles themselves. It's the fruit of many long hours sitting in front of those flames. Let's see what you could do. So he's forging, and Subaru tells everyone that it's the furnace. The furnace's temperature is over 1,200. Now remember, it's supposed to explode at 1,000, so it's already 200 degrees over. And then we get. I ain't gonna lie, this is hard. This is hard right here. This is hard right here. It could explode at any moment. Everything's riding on Rokahira's talent. If you're concerned for your life, you should go, which is what I've been saying the whole time, by the way. And now this guy want to be fascinated by the art, and now he wants to be fascinated. Don't switch up now, bro. You're still on that side of the fence. Stay on that side of the fence, bro. We're not working with fancy smelting theory and we're not working with fancy smelting theories and formulas. We're going on experience. We're going on experience, feeling our five senses. Man versus materials. That's I go. I don't know why that's so hard, but that's hard, bro. And then we see Noro leaking out of the furnace. And what Noro is, it's the slag of Noro is the slag of impurites expelled from the steel during smelting. And it's basically showing that the steel's purifying and that it's just the beginning. I go lie, this other page was hard too, man. Chiro looking back, wiping the sweat off his chin. I hit my headset, my fault. Swiping the sweat off his chin. Now we tame the gods. That's so fucking hard, bro. That's so hard. And yeah, like I said, unfortunately, we're not gonna get another chapter for like a month. I'm assuming so. Yeah, it's sad. But anyway, that was the 8th for chapter 125 of Kagurabachi. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Stay safe. All that good stuff.